Welcome to Big Boy Crypto, home of the BitSquad, the largest and frankly the greatest crypto community and all of the interwebs. No channel's working harder to keep you in the know when it comes to crypto. It's around the blockchain. We come to you Monday through Friday at 5:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, talking about your favorite topics. And today we have the best panel we've ever had in the history of the show. We're going to go ahead and start in the top right. You got tired of looking at red candles, so he has a blue curtain behind him now. Talk about Altcoin Daily. Always glad to have you on here. Then on the bottom right, looks like she's streaming from a jewelry kiosk at the mall. Maren Altman. Of course, we're kidding. We're kidding. Obviously, we love Maren here. Then on the bottom left, she's going to be doing some big things in LA soon. WendyO, Crypto WendyO. Make sure you check out her channel. Then on the top left, filling in for the big man himself. An even bigger man, Crypto Taco. Yeah, don't adjust your dial. He didn't have to flex. Ben did not dye his beard, nor is he cosplaying as a Northman from north of the wall. But we're going to be talking about 3/4 hike, blue, Omaha, 22, all that good stuff. No, we're talking about the Fed minutes and came in a little bit higher than some were expecting. Also, 3 Arrow Capital. Are they insolvent? This is a big crypto fund, something to keep an eye out on. And also, where my Link Marines at, Link with Moonbeam, Polkadot Parachain, I believe, and really, really good stuff going on there. But before we do, it's still a volatile week, everybody. Let's look at the crypto markets and where things are heading. And it's down a little bit, but definitely not down as much as it was earlier. Bitcoin holding strong, at that 21, almost back to 22,000. Briefly was flirting with the $20,000 level. Ethereum 1,100. I think it hit as low as 1060. But we had the Fed minutes come out just hours ago. And Wendy, a lot of people were expecting, a 50 basis points, 0.5% increase. It came out 0.75. A lot of people are saying, you know what? I think it's already out because the market's dumped on Monday. A lot of people are speculating, Ben included, that, all right, I think that it's leaked, that it's 75. Seems like the markets did not react negatively. I mean, was there any volatile change around that 2 p.m. announcement, 3 p.m. announcement, depending on where you're at? What are the markets saying?
I'm actually not going to do technical analysis on this right now, on this move, because right now we have the stuff with 3 Arrows. We have Celsius, we have Michael Saylor, we have all these people that have these liquidation areas that are very, very important to note. We've got people with a lot of capital that are on the other side that are interested in making money. So me personally, I know that there's volatility in the market. It looks like we did find a local bottom on the 12-hour chart via 12-hour chart via market Cipher, but I'm not sure if this is done or not yet. I feel like there's going to be a lot more craziness that happens, and I feel like Maren could kind of attest to some of that also.
All right, well, Maren, I'll take it right to you. Is there anything in the star? Are the stars misaligning? For some chicanery out there. I know it's close to a full moon too. The hijinks are going to be ensuing. What are the charts telling you?
So yesterday morning was a full moon, and if you look at the full moon indicator on TradingView, for example, they have new and full moons indicated. Full moons tend to be local bottoms. In no way does this mean huge reversal or anything like that, but and I'm not one to be permeable or anything. I tend to be very conservative and honestly do better when I'm shorting in down markets, so I don't particularly like when the market, I know that that's not my skill actually in trading. However, it does look like we have bottomed out in a short term. And if you look at the markets today, it seems that because 75 basis points was the expected route, that predictability did give traders and investors a little bit more assurance. I'm trading the 1 hour and the 4 hour right now, and mostly I am taking longer positions for the very short term on a pivot. I like the last 2 weeks of June, but I do have caution on the 18th and then again the 21st, 22nd, and 26th, 27th. Those are some days when I'm a little bit more cautious. I do think that we're due for a little bit more of a rally to then short again.
Yeah. All right. And, a lot of people saying this was expected, kind of like you said, everyone was kind of expecting the 75 basis points with the Fed here. Obviously, the markets didn't care too much. They did change some outlooks for the future. One of the Fed statements was, unemployment currently 3.6%. They're saying it might go up to 4.1%. But a bigger tell there was, with the inflation, they no longer saying they're targeting that 2%. They said 2% is where we want to get back in line. Now they're being a little bit more, they're waffling on it somewhat, saying whether or not they will hit that 2%. Altcoin Daily here, the markets didn't seem to care. Like Wendy said, there's a lot of stuff going on with Three Arrows Capital, Michael Saylor. The Fed minutes normally carry a lot of weight. Didn't really carry too much weight. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, are more increases in the future going to affect us? Is this everybody prepared for another 1 or 2, percentage points over the next 12 months? Do you think it's even going to matter too much? Do you have any thoughts?
DZ, thank you for having me back. Love being here. Love talking crypto, even in these down markets. So thank you. I think the market sort of priced this in the weeks, up to this Fed announcement. Obviously, the whole world is sort of at least the US is in a risk-off environment where we're seeing like so many different areas get drained. The NASDAQ, the S&P, cryptocurrency. I ultimately have no clue what the Fed is going to do at the next meeting. They say they're going to keep raising rates. I tend to believe that. I think it puts in great opposition. Bitcoin is programmable money. We know how much is mined into existence about every 10 minutes. It's just math over trusting people. What this means to me as a lowly Bitcoin investor is we're still in a risk-off environment, and whether Bitcoin grinds up, grinds sideways, or grinds down in the next few months, I think we're going to see dominance increase over the long term.
Okay, you say you trust math over people. What if it's Benjamin Cowan, who's kind of a math person? What then?
I am a Benjamin Cowan stan, man. He is really like sort of the only technical analysis and fundamental analysis. There's a couple other people, but big Benjamin Cowan stan. Highly recommend you subscribe.
Yeah, there's also really, really great. We have the Fibonacci Queen herself here on the panel at the moment. Hit that like button if you're on a lawn chair or if your computer is on cardboard boxes. Please hit that like button. We like all our people, whether or not you have furniture. That doesn't matter to us. But speaking of people without furniture, we have Taco. I'm kidding. I've been to his house. He has a beanbag. Taco, inflation reigning out of control. Obviously, they're trying to tamp it down. They kind of gave up on the 2% target here, it appears like to me. Will this be enough to tamp down inflation? And bonus question here, when will that Bitcoin is a good hedge against inflation narrative take root with the normies out there?
Well, thank you for having me on. I love being on around the blockchain. And I probably should have mentioned this like my first or second time on. I'm the Pluto Alliance community manager. So you'll find me in the Discord as Alien Taco. On Twitter, I'm Crypto Taco. So
I heard Pluto's a planet. Is that true?
Pluto, of course it is.
Okay,
and
good.
I'll go to battle with you in our Discord to prove otherwise. All right. So what was your question again about inflation?
Will this be enough to stop inflation? And will people ever jump on the board with Bitcoin is a good hedge against inflation? Risk on or risk off?
So, yeah, there's that chart comparing Bitcoin from its inception with the dollar. And it's been on a steady decline, the dollar versus Bitcoin. So pretty much, I mean, I wouldn't say any price Bitcoin. I mean, at 70K, probably not the greatest entry point. But if you're dollar cost averaging for the long term, Bitcoin is definitely going to beat the dollar. It's going to beat inflation, in my opinion. And what was your bonus question? I would love to answer that.
When will the normal people that just don't know much about Bitcoin, but then kind of hear that it is a hedge against inflation? I remember that being a very strong narrative, 2015, 16, 17, but felt like with this last run up, it doesn't really become mentioned as often as I think it should be.
Well, I mean, if you're in the market for more than 4 years, you're definitely going to have a situation where Bitcoin is going to be outperforming the dollar. So as far as the bear market that we're currently in, I could see somewhere around November being a bottom, like Ben has been saying over the past week or two. Yeah, I'll go with November. Maybe we'll get a reversal in the markets for crypto. So that's what I'm betting on, November.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to Three Arrows Capital. And I was looking at a tweet. This is just a quick summary before we get down to the details. Current situation summarized has about $250 million ETH deposited on Aave. From this, they have borrowed USDC, USDT. That puts their loan to value ratio at 77. They must keep it at 85. So They must add more to keep it below that 85%, is where a lot of this is coming from. Facing insolvency after at least $400 million in liquidations. People are saying here they were invested in Luna. They did have money in Celsius. So they just couldn't seem to pick a winner, or, maybe just picked a couple too many losers here. Also, with the staked ETH on the Lido Finance, that is no longer having its one-on-one pegging, where they put up ETH within a protocol, and then that ETH is also losing value. So there's a lot of bad things. Then Suzu kind of put out a cryptic tweet. We might look at it in a second, but Wendy, we were talking beforehand where, passive staking and liquid staking, it's a legitimate way to earn on your crypto. Have the events of the past week or month kind of changed how you feel about that? And do you want to share any thoughts?
No, well, they have and they haven't. So part of what we're seeing, I feel, well, I'm not going to get into that. As far as leaving assets on centralized exchanges or utilizing DeFi protocols to earn passive income, I think it's a great idea. I still think it's a great idea. However, there's a caveat there. That caveat is, and this should be common knowledge to everybody in crypto, whatever crypto coins or tokens you leave on any platform, centralized or decentralized, you're at risk. If you're farming, you're staking, you're pooling, you're at risk. So that's why we always talk about on my channel to utilize the Moonbag. That's what you removed initial investment, you remove profit. So whatever you have, you own free and clear, and then you can go ahead and earn passive income on that. What's happening with Celsius is absolutely unfortunate because it's a centralized platform. I had funds on there. My mom had funds on there. People I know personally had funds on there. So a lot of us are being impacted. But at the same time, I also understood the risks. And like I told my mom, she understood the risks as well. I think that we will see a lot more regulation come into play. Like Ben and I have talked all the time about this, and we've talked about it on the show, that all these passive income platforms like BlockFi and Celsius and Voyager, FTX US, Gemini, all those products, the passive income, the staking, whatever, those are going to go away. And it's going to, because the SEC is going to say they're too dangerous. But in all actuality, where was the SEC like the last couple of years, like trying to help give clear guidelines to regulate these so people were actually protected? Because what the SEC is going to do is they're going to come out and say, oh, this is bad. We don't want you to use it. Too dangerous, too scary. So now we're going to just say no to it, instead of actually coming up with some sort of group collaboration with these companies in the past.
Yeah. All right. And we have, this is Suzu right here, doing a little yoga. And as I said, he's committed to working this out. Altcoin Daily, there's just a cascade of issues here. We have dominoes falling left and right with these exchanges. Do you think that all these events are going to lead to more regulation in the future, in the near future?
Number one, and most importantly, I love yoga. Just got finished doing some yoga. Highly recommend. I think the cascading effect, to answer your question though, DZ, I think the cascading effect we're seeing from these other funds, from people getting liquidated, we haven't seen the last of that yet. But regulation, 100%. This will lead to potentially bad regulation for the space, only because even if 90% of the actors are good actors, the regulators will use that other 10% to see, hey, see, told you so. You guys need our oversight, which obviously is needed in some cases. I mean, it's a double-edged sword regulation. They are meant to help, which I like, but then they also overregulate or almost ruin. So there is no clear winner here. I mean, that's sort of why it's a big unknown in the space. I was a little shook, when 3 Arrows Capital, when we started hearing those rumors, because I haven't had dealings with them, but I always sort of considered 3 Arrows Capital one of the blue chip hedge funds because they were so well respected by other people I respect in the space. Digging in to some of those tweets from Suzu, though, I believe that's his name, we now see that he was tweeting, whoa, just bought more STETH or whatever that is, more ETH, trying to sort of rally the market to say, hey, everybody, I'm doing this, it's all good, when they were close to insolvency or close to liquidation. So I'm sort of, you just have to step back, prepare for this winter, and be careful out there.
Yeah, be very careful. Yeah, I saw some of those old tweets that are resurfacing how, hey, we're doubling down, we're still involved, and yet, looking now, obviously, that was a little early to be trying to catch that falling knife. Maren Altman, obviously, risk is always going to be an issue when you're investing money, but do you foresee any legal liability with 3 Arrows Capital? Is this going to be a Mount Gox type situation that might be drawn out in courts, or do you see a lot of these things maybe kind of resolving themselves out?
really see how there would be a legal implication here, if I'm honest. Funds make mistakes, they get over leveraged. It's a house of cards with dominoes when you're thinking about Luna and Celsius, in the way that um, it doesn't all have to be like an intentional psyop or like rugging people. I think it can just be a series of micro decisions on top of micro decisions where one's out and it's all falling down. In this particular case, I don't, it could be me not fully understanding it, which I'm open about. I don't really like to make too big of comments on these things because frankly I don't think I've been in the market long enough to even fully understand a lot of like what's like fully leading up to this in a way. I mean, I can understand the way that things are over leveraged and defaulting on some of the like loans and how the yield isn't sustainable, but I think there's a lot of conflation and jumping to conclusions when we don't have all the information here. Or that unless it's been declared that they're insolvent, I'm not even going to say that they're insolvent. They can be in like deep shit without being insolvent. And I think that there could have been, I feel like there would have been more overt liquidations happening. They can be, again, they can be in like deep shit without actual insolvency. I think that like the pulling of some NFTs also be a hint as to what's going on, but I don't want to make any claims. I don't think there's any reason to jump to assuming anything legal going on. Funds can be in trouble. People can just be on the wrong side of a trade rather than trying to psyop people as well. So overall, you know, I hope for the best. And I think that a lot of these things, even it can be really bad and also get regulation and things like that without some huge master plot of everything falling down or being illegal.
Yeah, and to be clear, none of us here are attorneys. This is not legal advice.
Right.
Go to Haley Lennon for that. She's really good at that. Shout out to Haley. All right, now Taco, you've been a victim of some of these type of situations. You know, you've been on the show before. We've talked about it quite candidly. You were in UST. You lost, basically broke even. I think you didn't even lose much. You got out above 90 cents. I had to shake you. I was beating against your stone-like chest. It was like me trying to hit Michelangelo's David or something. I said, sell, you got to sell. You walked out, I think, you know, maybe a modest 1 or 2% gain. So, you know, you didn't really lose your shirt too much. But there are people, you know, life savings locked up. There are people who rode it all the way down to zero. Maybe Carl lost 200 million. Who knows here? But as someone who fell victim, quote unquote, to some of these situations, how do you feel about more regulation? Is this something you would like, or is this something that, you know, you consider part of the process?
More regulation. I think it was last week or maybe earlier this week, someone was on around the blockchain and they said that there's wrongdoings within the regulatory bodies. So, I mean, it's got to be the right regulation that makes sense. The people that are doing this have to understand the tech, what they're getting into, what they're actually regulating. I mean, yeah, going back to Terra Luna, it was a gigantic cryptocurrency. I mean, it had a multi-billion-dollar market cap. It's been around for years. It's been in and out of the top 10. I mean, we were even talking about putting funds from the Pluto lines into there, and good thing we didn't, and good thing I got out pretty much positive since I'd had it in there for so long. The 20% made my my crypto in there more than what I put in when I had to take it out. So regulation, it could be good, it could be bad, but it's got to be done correctly in a way that benefits the actual users and not just like the major institutions that are able to get out of these coins and these cryptos before retail. Like I don't think it was too good of a move by Celsius to move like 320 million over to FTX right before they turned off withdrawals. So how can they be transparent and tell people that they're doing everything they can to help the little guy when they're doing things like that behind the scenes? Regulation, again, yeah, it could be good, it could be bad. I just got to wait to see what actually comes out and how the market responds.
Okay, I like that. All right, well, let's Lake Marines. Yes, DZ bought his 0.4 this weekend. Let's talk a little Chainlink. Of course, I'm talking about the Web3 Oracle. Just, you know, brass tacks, Oracle allows the communication between Web 2 and Web 3 is kind of the best way I like to describe it. If you want on-chain data to display on a website, Chainlink is a great tool. If you want to update NFTs, so it looks different on the website, Chainlink, again, a great tool. Well, they just announced that they're teaming up with Moonbeam. Let us know in the chat if you have any Moonbeam. It's a smart contract parachain on Polkadot. And the founder of Moonbeam said this was long sought after feature by the Link Marines. I actually have the price chart up. I know I talk about Chainlink a lot. I didn't choose this topic. I got in at, I think, $2. We're dangerously close to my initial entry. No, I did not sell a whole bunch up here. Maybe some in the 40s, I think. But obviously, Chainlink didn't survive that well during this bear market. Quite the drawdown, quite far away from that $50, $60 range. Didn't quite match that pump in November that you saw with the FTT or Crow token, that when Bitcoin had its second run up, a lot of altcoins followed. Chainlink, not so much. But there is a little bright news. You know, they also have staking sometime in the future. Now, Wendy, is Link something that you pay attention to? I know, you know, you've been around in the space for quite a few years, and, you know, it was very, very popular, you know, that 2018, 2019 narrative with, you know, what's the next run up with coins. Obviously, a lot of people, you know, did pretty well. I'm sure a lot of people wrote it down just like me. Is there anything in the charts that excite you about Link, or, you know, anything about the technology about it? What's WendyO's thoughts on Chainlink here?
So I like Chainlink because a lot of people like Chainlink. No, I like Chainlink because they actually are, I don't want to say the term partnered, but they are, a lot of other crypto projects are utilizing that technology for oracles and price data feed, all of that great stuff, which we like. We need that because that helps with future development. As far as, you know, I think that Link went off. That was like the altcoin that went off DeFi summer of 2020. That kind of kicked this bull market off. Like, people were making so much money. It was super, super exciting. And another thing I do want to say about Link is that price doesn't equate to utility. And I get a lot of people like, Wendy, like, you know, I have Link, I have Cardano, I have this or that. Why is it pumping? Why is it price moving? Because this is the type of market we're in. We're not going to see these crazy types of price pumps now. As far as accumulating more Link right now at these prices, as of today, I am not interested in purchasing and investing in any more altcoins unless I'm doing a short-term scalper trade. I don't want a dollar cost average. I don't want to set limit orders. I don't want to accumulate anything other than Bitcoin for longer term swings until we actually capitulate and we bottom out, because I don't think Bitcoin has bottomed out yet. Short-term trades, 100%, but I do like Link as far as, you know, it being utilized by so many different crypto projects. So shout out to the Link community.
Yeah, shout out to all the Link Marines. Shout out to all the people who build fences made of Chainlink. All you wooden fence people, we're not talking about you. You don't get involved in this. Now, Altcoin Daily, I'm going to bring this one to you because altcoins in your name. They do have some competitors, API 3, the band protocol, Wink. So, I mean, there is a little bit of competition, but they seem to have the network effect locked down. What is your narrative on that? I mean, is there a competitor that can maybe, you know, take a sliver of market share? Is this still, you know, a battle that's yet to be won, or has it been won already?
Let's zoom out and just look big picture, in the sense that blockchains will need an Oracle solution. They could use a bunch. Now, we're seeing so many people, at least from a marketing standpoint and initial partnership standpoint, adopt Chainlink, which is great. Chainlink is one of those, because it is needed in the market, and although we don't know which one will make it out in the end, because of those partnerships that Chainlink is making in different ecosystems, to me, that's a long-term indicator of use. Now, I'm liking what Wendy said, that does not equate to price, and because of the macro environment we're in, you know, altcoins can drop by another 90%. Not that she said that, but it's very much speculation price-wise where we're going. But just the fact that blockchains will need an Oracle solution, and Chainlink is integrated with many different layer ones, to me, that's good. In a bad good scale, DZ, good.
Okay. I would say, I think Ivan on Tech summed it up best, kind of Wendy's point that you're referring to, where, you know, what it doesn't really equate to the price. And that's pumpamentals will always surpass fundamentals. And when you wrap your head around that, that's when you can start to accept SHIB and, you know, Doge and other things where, you know, you're not just sitting there like, why, screaming why, wanting to hit your screen or something. You know, you don't want to break your hand or anything. So, yeah.
Like that Telegram chat where you can voice record screaming into the oblivion because...
Yeah, or a Discord voice channel. You know, it sounds like the portal to hell. But yeah, DZ,
I have a question for you. As a Chainlink whale in the group, at what price point or what time will you be buying more?
I'm buying more now. I'm buying more now. I put in a little bit of money Monday during lunch during that wick down. I got a little Bitcoin, a little Chainlink, and a little Ape coin That's what I bought. So I will probably stop double digits, low double digits, unless I get bullish and hopium, I start injecting the hopium in my veins probably a year from now. Yeah, maybe I'll buy a $30 link. Maybe I'll be Michael Saylor and I'll continue to buy the top. Who knows? Who knows? But I think in the single digit range, especially under $5, I mean, there's staking coming soon, all right? That speaks to the degens, maybe.
When Crypto Wendy says, hey, I'm done with altcoins, and when I say Bitcoin dominance, I think it's only going to increase, you're taking that long-term approach. The short-term
I'm taking that split approach because one of my 3 choices was Bitcoin. So you know what? I don't try to say I have all the answers. I have maybe some. So I spread my $20 around. Hey, $5.
Set limit
here,
orders
$10.
and vibe. Set limit orders at like literally the bottom.
Yeah.
And vibe.
Set your $5 bid, walk away. Turn 360 degrees, walk away. All right, Maren, Wendy kind of alluded, there's a lot of partnerships with Chainlink. I mean, if you want to sound like, there are probably more partnerships than any coin except for Ethereum. Is there a winner in this deal? We have, I want to say Moonbeam, the Moonbeam's pair chain on Polkadot, and then we have Chainlink. Who is the winner in this deal? Is it Moonbeam? Is it Chainlink? Is it the users?
Yeah, I think that with Chainlink being known, at least when I think about Chainlink on a like corporate level, because I do admire a lot of their structured as a company. I think of the partnerships, and I think about how they're widespread with them, but selective with them. And whenever something is announced, I think about it, and I think about like why that was considered, why that ended up happening. I think it's usually the other party. I think in this case it's Moonbeam, because Chainlink is known for being like, it's been in the space. Fundamentals are strong. It's a project I really admire, and I think that generally when you're partnering with them, it's like clout share with them. I mean, sure, they get something out of it as well, and users do, but usually it's the other side, I would say, more gets the value out of it. And they're a project I admire for that, because they partner with other projects, but it's generally it's helping out that project.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And people like the 360 degree comment. It's an old Xbox PlayStation meme. All right, Taco, final question here. We're looking, let me make sure I have the exact right ranking. I think Coinbase is ranked 19 or so, top 20 for sure. So we have a top 20 ranking, over $3 billion market cap, I want to say, fully diluted, over 7 billion here. Wait a minute, no, 50% out roughly here. Back to the pumpamentals versus fundamentals. Do people care about oracles, or is this just going to get surpassed in the news by some meme token that has a rocket, a dog, and Elon's right earlobe on it? Will people care about oracles in this space moving forward? Will there ever be a time where the space matures, where they care more about fundamentals versus pumpamentals?
Well, Chainlink is the OG Oracle solution. It does the job that no one else wants to do. It's gathering all this information from like Etherscan. It's or Cardano scan, any of the scans that scan the blockchain.
Scan, tell you not scam. Happening. You said scam?
Scam.
A scan.
It scans
scan.
the
Okay.
blockchain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I mean, if you've been on Etherscan, you probably understand maybe 1 or 2 lines of that. Like, that was my gas price. That's what I got. So there's a bunch more info there, and Chainlink does the job that no one else wants to do, like I said. So yeah, fundamentals versus pumpamentals. They've been doing the job correctly for a number of years now. Everybody goes to them to partner with them. It's pretty much using their software to grab the data and show it to you in a way that you understand it. So yeah, it's not going to have a pumpamental type deal coming, I don't feel like. And I don't think a new player that comes in that tries to get the meme pumps and is an Oracle solution, that's not really sexy. So, I mean, it's an OG. It does what it's meant to do. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Invest in it because it works, not financial advice, but.
Okay. All right. And that is all we have. It looks like we ended in a tie. We don't do it that often. So I'll tell you what. If BJ can work it out, we'll give each of y'all, yeah, I said y'all. We'll give each of yous a little bit of time to leave us with some parting thoughts.
Whoa. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I put you on the spot, technical
Okay,
director.
fine.
Maybe he can't pull it off. I'll tell you what, we'll go to Taco first. No, it's above his technical capabilities.
Wait, Ginger's first?
Wipe your sweat.
Oh, God.
I was
Go,
going to say
Ginger.
ladies
Go, Taco.
first. All right. Well, thank
Yeah, we
you
gotta
for
end
having me
strong.
on. It's the first time I've ever won. I love it. So, yeah, I'm the Pluto Alliance community manager. Hop in our Discord, learn what we're all about. We're dishing out a lot of upcoming little secrets. So you'll get the alpha in our Discord. Pluto Alliance is a planet.
All right, Wendy.
Oh, I won. Just kidding. Thank you guys so much for having me. Love the Bit Squad. Also, too, shout out to Altcoin Daily. Shout out to Maren. Make sure you guys follow these amazing people. And also, you guys, please remember, if you're having a hard time right now, you're going to be okay. Take this time to continue to build. Investopedia is a 100% free resource that you can use to educate yourself. You're going to make it. I promise. Just believe in yourself.
Yeah, Investopedia during the bear market, sounds like you'll make it. That's all I got to say about
Your
that.
best friend. If you read all of those free articles, learn basic technical analysis, learn about traditional financial terms, learn about all these terms that you might be struggling with, you will do well if you start educating yourself literally maybe 10 minutes a day. I know you can do it.
Now's when the future millionaires are made. Until next time, BitSquad. Peace out.